Hello, people of the internet. Today, I am attempting to play Car Mechanic Simulator 2018, where we have loads of different vehicles to use. We could do a Range Rover Evoque. It's apparently got engine trouble also, and there's no list, so that's going to be complicated. We have this, what looks like a Mitsubishi Eclipse. A modernised Eclipse even. Brake system needs fixing. Here we have car is hard to control, but there is a list, so that should be easier. We'll give this a try. Should be quite a junky car with the parts condition they expect. And here we go. It looks okay from the front, and then you look around and rust all over the place. Car lifter A, no, you get moved. Don't know why I'm there. But anyway, brake system, let's see what the list entails. Car is hard to control, sorry, in this case. Inner tie rod, sway bar, sounds like suspension bits. So, we'll have to look for those underneath the car, where conveniently we'll have this lift for. So, lift it up. And we should be able to peek under here with the correct mode, and it will show everything we need in red. So, there's that wheel. There's that wheel. Both front wheels need to maybe not come off, but they need to be used, operated upon. I think that one needs to come off, so we'll start with that one, since it almost certainly needs to come off to repair what I need to repair. There we go. Ooh, all this rust, but it just doesn't matter in this case. It's not a immaculate car. Come on. And I don't know how I do this. I think there's something around the back. But what is it that I need to undo? We can apparently undo this. That's 65%, that's easily good enough. And there is a culprit though. We can unscrew that right there, so that's that thing done. Which part was that we needed? That was the sway bar rear end link. Okay. Sway bar rear end link in the main shop under suspension. I don't want to use R because that will stop recording, and that is a very awkward thing to happen. It's an extra element to the game. Sway bar end link, that should be done. That should be what we need from this corner. How many things does it say? Ooh, it says quite a few actually. But then when I look in this mode, I can't see that many things that are truly terrible with the car. There's 3 here. And then there's that one on the back, which I just found. Beyond that, I'm not too sure. I guess we could have the power stuff in the engine bay. It's always worth a look at, if it has ABS. There's somewhere down here. They look fine, actually. Car is hard to control, so I don't see what else that could be. All this stuff looks okay. I'll have a look at the shock absorber. It's one of those things that may be bad, but maybe not at the same time. If I go and mount. Now 60% is good enough. Even though it is rusty. We can remount this thing then. And that should be the main body of upgrades done. Rubber bushings are all good there. Now, what about the brakes? We can look here, see if there's any really horrible condition bits. These aren't great, but they're functional condition. Enough to have no problems with. I think it's 54% I'm going for. Oh, that's actually quite a good part for that brake caliper bit for how rusty and horrible the rest of this car is. We could have a dodgy wheel somewhere, but I think that would show up pretty obviously. Just look around and see. Overview mode. Wheels seem fine. Wheels seem very, very fine. Can we hopefully take this off? There are definitely some horrible bits in here. Undeniably horrible bits. And you come off. There we go. That's the tie rod. Outer tie rod. Inner tie rod. That's 2 parts. So I need to find those. Again, I can't type R's. Tie. Get one of those and one of those. That should be some of our problems sorted. I do love my old CRT computer there. Where were we? Right, we need to go into assemble mode or part mount, same thing. You can go in there. It's getting some lovely clean bits for an old car. You don't have to use these bits if you have a junkyard. You can just put old junk on it as long as it's good enough. But in this particular case, we don't have that unlocked yet. So we're going to put all shiny bits on. Examine mode, that's green. We have these 2 now. Part unmount. Is there something we need to do? We might need to remove a wheel first. I think we do. You can all come off then. You can come off. And so can you. No, not you. I don't want you off. Yes, you can come off. So we need same bits as before by the looks of it. I didn't think it would be both of these, but so it is. And these can just plop into the car. If I find, hopefully, where they go. Again, gets lovely shiny parts on a car that really isn't that shiny. So, there we go. I think we've done that pretty nicely. Have we got the list? Sway bar front end link A. So, presumably because there's front in the name, that's going to be something on the front of a car. But I'm not certain. The only thing to do now is to just look at what bits are red. Come on. Overview mode, there we go. And it's that bit there. Hopefully we can access that. Sway bar front end link A. Okay, so I should be able to put end link in. Or just sway actually. Sway bar front end link A. Buy one of those and that should be the job done when we've fitted everything back onto the car. So go on to assemble mode. Part mount, but I call it assemble mode. And you can go back on there. We can start putting all this wheel stuff back on. No, you get the old one. And you can go on there. That should be all this stuff done. Not a perfect car, but a functional car, more importantly. And we should just be able to do the same thing with the wheel on this side. Assemble mode. And in we go on these bolts. And that should be a functioning vehicle now. So what we can do is go and take it to the test track. Okay, so here we are at the test track, and we can see our car, hopefully move around it if I can work this out. Maybe I can't, I don't know. If I'm going backwards, reverse mode, there we go. You can see the front. It's got a rainbow number plate. Yay, rainbows and all that stuff. I'll say that, then I'll suddenly hate rainbows after this video. Knowing me luck. Oh dear, brake. Brakes work surprisingly well given how junky they are. But you didn't see that, car owner. I'm totally not auto-crossing your car. It does handle well, it handles better than other vehicles, which is surprising given it is pretty much a piece of junk in condition-wise. Come on. The interior looks like an old Audi, it must be said. Although it is, I think, supposed to be a Japanese car. Brake into here. There we go. Ooh, look at all the shiny bits. Yeah, all the bits have changed. But anyway, that is done quite nicely. So, although the car's on the lift, we can still get rid of it. Just click on the car status, and we should be able to finish order. Not too bad money for that, considering it was quite a simple job. I'd like to see more, though. We do have an RX-3. Now, 50%, it seems to be a point where things really start going wrong. I did get an RX-7 at one point, and it seemed like everything was not going to be that hard on it, but the list was so long, and it didn't give me a list, so I just decided I was going to get rid of it. This is only filters, though, so we should be fine to do it. Ooh, we've got a Roadster. No list, though. I like my list. It makes things so much easier. I did once tear down an entire engine trying to find a really simple problem, which didn't go that well, because I found it instantly when I looked it up. Move car to car lifter A. This is an actual DLC vehicle. Yay. It's so brown it looks rusty, but it isn't, it's just brown. They have really not looked after what's a classic sports car. Quite a lot of people would actually want to own. So, if we look at the list, we should see filters. We need new oil and a new rotary oil filter, so that should be pretty good. I think the oil filter is the one under the car. Oil filter, rotary, and we should just have to raise this up. Press that again to fully raise it when it's got to the lower point. Then we can move the equipment. Or move it when the lift is done. Use equipment, that will drain the old oil. It charges you if you don't do it properly. I learned the hard way. And that's that done. So the oil filter, maybe you access it from the top of the engine on here. It's got a V8 starter. Ah, oil filter, that's what we want. Accessible from engine bay. We did get the oil drain though, so it's not the end of the world that we raised it up when we didn't need to for a filter. Come on. The one engine I actually plan ahead for, and it does turn out it's on top of the car. Oil filter, and there we go. That's the job more or less complete. I do just have to find out where the oil goes in, which is right here. I think we need to go on part unmount. And just pour some fresh oil in, as you do. Then we can check with the dipstick, which is right there. This engine is quite easily done. I will admit, it's probably one of the easier engines of all of them in the game. It's so an older engine, so you'd expect it, but it just seems well designed. We can put a bit more oil in. Come on, glug, 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 glug. You can come out. That should do. We're below the maximum, but not by too much, so should keep the car running quite nicely. I won't take this round the test track because you've already seen that. I'll show you the interior very briefly, since it's a more interesting car. There we go. And then if we go on assemble mode, can put that door back on. 56% door, not great. I'd expect more rust, to be honest, though, considering how low the condition is. And, wow, I've still got the mirror. Wouldn't want to take the mirror, that's for sure. But we should be able to just send this car on its way. Didn't pay too well, but... Front left door window. Didn't pay too well, but then... It was such an easy job. No, I need to get the window. Assemble mode, where are you? There we go. Now we can send it on its way. So we should hopefully be able to level up. No. Maybe not, I don't know. I should be ready though. How much did it cost? It costs 1 and it says I have 1 of 5 available points to upgrade, so I don't know why I can't unlock the upgrade. Maybe I have to get something else here first, which would, I guess, make sense. I'll try this. Can try repairing some old worthless junk we have. It might work. Let's try. This can't be the only junk we have. Maybe it's the only items we have to repair. Have we got any nice shiny brake calipers? No, I think I've just messed them up. And they were the only parts that were somewhat repairable. Okay. That's always something. I think you unlock the junkyard when you get to level 2, but I'm not sure of that. Now, which cars do we have here? Ooh, Dacia Duster. Ooh, that's nice. It's apparently got an engine problem, though. But there is a list. I'll give this a try. Not worked on one of these before, so it should always be interesting. I'm not sure why they would wait so long to let me work on a Ford Sierra, but there we go. It would say the value there, Ford Sierra, or what's it, E36 M3, whatever this is, but presumably not if it's in 40% condition. Yeah, there's so many terrible parts, but which parts are the most terrible of them all? That is the question. I'm trying to think which mode. Examine mode. Oh, I spy red bits. I spy very red bits. The fuel rail needs to come off. No, we need to disassemble. Well, there's a list. There is fuel rail, oil pan, and serpentine belt, and a piston. Oh dear, it's going to involve more disassembly than I would have thought. Serpentine belt A and whatever that was. Right, we're going to need to drain the oil, or it'll spill all over the floor. Come on. It must have quite a low-grade vehicle. It's got plastic bumpers and everything. It's basically a beta, but still, it's... He's not wanting to take it to any mechanic. I feel special. Drain all your rotten old oil out. So, what parts have we got now? None of those are in particularly good parts. Good... good condition, that's it. So... Interesting, it's only serpentine belt that needs replacing apparently, even though one of them is absolutely dreadful. Well, say what you want. I can't put serpentine though because it has an R in and it'll mess with my recording. Wait, which model do I need? I wonder. Ah, that's 45. That would be why. So we need the single overhead cam one. Cheap enough. And where is the list? Fuel rail, oil pan. Come on. Where are you? Where are you hiding, oil pan? You're coming with me. Fuel. One moment. I'll just check on my inventory which fuel rail it is. MPI. Okay. Multi-point injection on this. That's fairly impressive, actually. For such a old car. And oil. Pan is what we need. Again, need to check which model oil pan that is. So inline 4. As you'd expect, but some things aren't quite as you would expect. And there we go. Inline 4 oil pan. You can go back in the car. Oh wait, it said something was wrong with the piston. If I could hopefully find that one. It's that one, I think. So if we go to part unmount, we have to get this one out. I want to see if I can take it out from underneath. Probably not, but I'll take a chance anyway. Come on. You're coming with me. This stuff all needs to come out. I'm tearing down such an old engine, I feel I might as well rebuild it. Thankfully there's only 4 cylinders, no more. Now what stops you coming out? I can't seem to tell. Right, I might have to take the top half of the engine off. Oh dear. This has been quite the mess. Oh, lift obstructed. You go back. Now, I should be able to disassemble this entire thing. It just won't be as easy as I would have hoped. Come on. Everything is just so messy in here. Yeah, as I said about having to take apart an entire car, now I have to actually do that. And it's not just me being stupid. Come on. All these bits must come out. No, he doesn't want to come out. I think the manifolds, they'll need to come out. If the manifolds come out, then hopefully the other bits will come off as well. Right, throttle, you need to come off. Manifold, intake manifold in this case. And they can plop off. No, single overhead cam, you need to come off. All these little bits need to come off. Otherwise, timing cover won't come off. Okay. And they are, I'm guessing, still stuck. This is more rebuilding than I would have hoped. That's for sure. I'm not happy with these error noises. I just want to get rid of the bits that are in my way. Oh dear. Hopefully this is amusing. Because if it's not, I am slightly going to be upset. Spark plugs, you need to come out. And this can maybe come off now, yes. We've basically stripped down an engine now. And all to get our way at one of these. Just look at what condition it is. That's the one we want. Part unmount. It's definitely this one. Come on. There we go. We finally got it. Finally got the piston with conrod. So... no R's in piston. That's good. I'll buy piston wings anyway, but I don't think I'll need them. But it's just good to make sure. This engine block itself, though, is surprisingly clean and free of mess and rust. I wouldn't have expected that just looking at the car. Need to go on to part mount, though, where we should be able to mount that piston on. Piston wings, they're 55, are good enough. And head can go back on. Slightly better condition than the piston wings. Piston wings will probably fail, truth be told. I've got one good piston in an otherwise massively flawed engine. Try and screw all these manifolds and everything back on. And finish this screw up. Get the spark plugs. It's a bit of an odd order I'm doing this in, but now I know what needs to go back on vaguely. I just have to plop them back into their correct positions. Ignition coil. And ignition wires. That should be just about everything on that side. Then we have this, and I've gone into my inventory for some reason. But we're back on there. Now, there is some part, I can't remember the name of it, but I did have a new part for there, just around here. Fuel rail, there we go. So that can sit there, hopefully. Then we need the throttle. We need the intake manifold. I don't know why this won't mount though. Ah, do we need to put the camshaft in first in a weird twist of events? No? Do we need to remove that? What are you seeing problems with? Okay, if I unmount this... Try then. No? It doesn't really seem to want to mount them, which is odd. Try mounting this front stuff back on just in case I'm missing something. Could be the case. Timing cover. That still won't go on. You can go back in. Idler roll away, you can go back in. I think we have a new one of these, you can go in. You're good enough, I think. So there we go. That was not as easy as I thought. It still isn't as easy as I'd think. What's this bit? Fuel rail. Part of the fuel rail. I just can't figure how the manifold's supposed to go in. Is there anything on the front? No? Try putting some other bits back on then. See if they make a difference. Although I'm doubtful these will. That's for sure. You can hopefully go back. I can't see any red parts, that's the problem. I will be back. Okay, so here we are at the barn I have unlocked, and I basically did another job, unlocked the barn, and that was it. The manifold was basically a ghost manifold. I had to unscrew first and then unscrew a wheel on. It was very, very strange actually. But still, that was the way it was. This car is too expensive for me to buy, but I can still look for junk in these various bits of stuff. It's a nice car, it's a shame. Although it is a bit of a mess, I will admit. Still a nice car, it would be an interesting project to restore it. Shame it's now those funny rotatey headlights, they would always be fun. What's in here? Front bumper, maybe that's something I would keep. Condition's still quite low though, I wouldn't bother with anything really low condition. Only if I guess you desperately have to finish a car. Wim Retro may work if I have a low enough tyre. A wheel problem specifically, but again I don't think we want to bother with things that are just that poor condition. Some of the poor quality jobs though, they will accept rubbish bits, so they're always useful to have lying around. Side mirror, it's never something you're really going to see a problem with. there's a chance I will get a Spectre and restore it someday, so it's worth hoarding the odd bumper for that, but is anyone really going to want a side mirror? Probably not. So that's not really the best idea. Timing belt V8, I'll get that. 60% not the best condition, but there's always someone that may want it with a junky old car. And I think we may have gone through all of it. Again, front left fender, unless you're restoring it, there's not really a specific need for it. What's this in here? I think we've been here. I think we've seen everything there is to see, sadly. So what I'm going to do now is I'm going to return to my garage. I'm going to do a load more jobs. And then I'm going to return on the video to show off some of the stuff. This interior's nice. But anyway, I'll join you when I'm there. So, the game has conveniently put me in this position so I don't see what car it is. I have 16,000 monies, partially from selling the junk, and I kind of don't think we'll be able to afford anything here. Maybe we will be able to. I don't know. Not that. That's 24,000. And not this. This is also the same car. That doesn't help. Ooh. Something we can afford. It's probably in terrible condition, especially if we look at the engine, but it is what I was aiming for. Something to restore that I can currently afford in the game. Not the nicest muscle car either, I will admit. It's not my favourite. I'd take something late 50s over this, but it's not particularly horrible. Does the job. I'll just have to be careful not to spend too much money on junk parts. Ah, I need to press and hold there. Ooh, we can get a bolt reptilia headlight. This looks interesting. Ignition wires. I'll get that. As I say, a lot of this stuff won't really be that useful. But there will be some decent bits that are. Maybe some I could try and repair even, but I don't really want to try that until I've got all the repair upgrades. Or maybe I have already. Who knows for sure. Give that wheel a try and may be able to repair it. It's quite good condition. By all counts, I think. Ooh, someone's got their old drink there. That wasn't very nice. Put it in the bin. Yeah, I've been in there. That was me escape key making that noise. Seat 5. I probably won't need it, but I think they're intercompatible with cars, so I will go with it in this case since it's such good condition. And what do we have here? Nothing of particular interest. So many junk piles though. Ooh. That is a very nice bonnet, but again, I don't think we'll really have any jobs asking for bonnets. What do we have here? Bolt Chapman rear bumper. Is this a Bolt Chapman? Probably not. What is this car? 270 horsepower, pretty good there. Does it say what the name is? Bolt Hellcat. So I don't think that's what it was for. No, that was Bolt Chapman. Is this Bolt Chapman? DC Typhoon. That is. What do we have here? Can have a V6B camshaft. Just all these little bits that may be useful somehow. Sometime. Ooh, fancy leather seat. We won't be going for that. Too poor condition, I think. And that's about all we've got. So if I go and buy the car now. Overview the car. Well, you're not going to see much there because it doesn't want to tell me if anything's really horribly wrong. I could just try and buy this car and sell it for a profit, actually, and then buy something more interesting. I could try that. At this point, no one to restore it to 100%. Engine value is 3,700. So, yep, we'll buy that. Put it in the car parking for now. And we should be able to return to garage. $317 to buy those parts, not too bad. So, all in all, good deals. So, here we have our old vehicle, which is actually in really good condition. You'll see very minor rust here. Maybe on the bumpers and some scratches, but it's not as bad as you might expect for such a car. There's loads of rust there, that's what they can look like, but the chassis on this, just due to that small amount of rust, it seems very reasonable. Sadly, I can't open it here because it's on the lift, but if we look in here, the engine is a bit of a mess. I wonder if we get, say, one part off it. There we go. If we get one bit off the top, what condition will it say? 54%? So there's a chance I could repair a lot of this stuff. Yeah. Should I put that back on? I don't know. I guess I'll have to try and repair it. See if something goes horribly wrong. I can't repair some bits. Oh, I think I've ruined it. What does it want anyway? So if I go back into rebuild mode, it wants air filter 1 carb, air filter 1 carb, and air filter cover 1 carb. Can I make a list of these parts? I should actually be able to. That's not what I want. I should be able to make a list if I go on parts notes. Add to list. These should all just be listed, so I can go and buy new ones, hopefully. I do have a bit of money, but not a huge amount. The car is worth more than I paid, apparently, so that's not the end of the world. And why am I in such an awkward position? Can I see my list now? No, I don't know. It's confusing me right now. But we have a V8 overhead valve. We really need the engine crane, if only. So, can we? Yes, we can buy it. We have 1 point. Where will I look up where will I get the engine crane though? That's the question. Ooh, I'm getting that. Successful chance raised to 75% from what it was before, 65%. Always something useful for restoring cars. If only I'd known that sooner. Still, we can hopefully look at what part we've got out just. We have the manifold. Let's try our luck on this. Have we done anything with it? I think we've ruined it. Yes. Oh, so close. So close and I messed it up. Or did I? No, I fully repaired that carburetor. Yay. The air filter base. I think that's just one of those disposable parts. Oh no, it's not. We can try and repair it. I think I failed again. Still, it was worth a try. I want to 100% everything on this car, so carburetor, we got lucky there. I feel like that could have been a pretty expensive part. If we go to the computer. Car. No. It's got to be somewhere here. There we go. It's a $150 component, so we've saved a decent amount, although the manifold is ruined and they're more expensive, so yeah, things are happening. We are getting progress done. I think I'll now continue trying to get some new parts, and I'll join you when I can put this stuff together. Okay, so after some more more repairing of the car, I've been back to the barn and found this. Yes, it's an old 4-cylinder saloon car. Nothing too surprising about it. You might think though this would be really cheap. After all, the body is in inferior condition and it's only a 4-cylinder, but if I go on the value, you'll see it's actually worth more. Over 1,000 more. I mean, that last car, to be fair, was calling me. It's a blue and chrome car with a great condition body shell, even if the engine isn't. So, that has to be said. It was designed for me, basically, by the game. Who would have thought? But anyway, I'm looking for more junk, see if I can find a V8 overhead valve thing. I'll have my hands on that tyre. That's definitely a good condition part. Even though it's not 100%, which is what I'm going for. You can often repair things. Go with a master wheel as well. I'm not sure how I'll put all this stuff together, but it's good condition and it's cheap, so I can't complain. I'd like that wheel. I think there's not too much chance I would repair it, but I do like a wooden wheel. And as I say, it's cheap, so worth a try. Can we find anything on this shelf, I wonder? Engine head cover, that's for a V6. Might still be good to lie around with though, because it's a good condition. Doors, as I said, we don't really need any of this stuff. Waste tyre. Interesting. Intake manifold 13. Should I get that tyre now? I don't think I'll bother. And I've looked through. There's only one car this time. Some barns are just like that. So I'll keep rampaging the barns for parts and see if I find anything. And here we have a pair of Reptilias for 35,000 oddly. Despite not looking as clean as this one, which is 17,000. I guess the engine in that is a bit meh. But then so is it in this. I don't know how this justifies being so expensive as it is. Yeah, 35,000. I won't be buying either of these, but this does look like a comparative bargain, especially considering it's coming from the exact same barn. And then we have this Trans Am thingy, which is also nice, but the bargain of the day, I think, has to go to this. Very nice there. What did it say this was called again? V8 2-carb. That's the engine type. Trying to find it. I don't know. It's got 300 horsepower though. Pretty sure that's more than the wheel gen of that Trans Am had. And we can look in here for junk. Nothing we want there. Some odd parts in these barns, that must be said. No, nothing there of real interest. What is that? It's looking at me, that's terrifying. Look in here. Ooh, Smith 1500 door. You can find Smith 1500 sometimes. They're the Ford F100 style of vehicle. What's in here? Ooh, I'll have that. Very good condition catalytic converter. And we'll have something perhaps from this shelf. Nah, I'll give that carburetor a go. There really isn't much that interests me here though. Seat Typhoon. Quite low condition. I don't want to mess with low condition things. There's too much chance I'll break it. And I'm having that. An immaculate power steering pump. What other chance of finding that in a barn? Should be something in here as well. Not too much I'm interested in the quality I want. Can't seem to escape from there. Is there a way into this corner? Yeah, but there's nothing there. I think I've looked through there. I never seem to get much in my barn ones, but it's always worth it. For his V8 overhead valve stuff, I don't think I'm seeing much of that, but if I could find it. So what parts have I got at the moment then, if I go return to garage? I have a power steering pump. I don't think my car has power steering, sadly. But $202? That is not money that's too expensive at all for what I'm getting. So I'll join you in a short while when I have my car stripped down a bit more. So here we have our final vehicle with different sets of wheels on it, because I wanted those ones and I chose pretty terrible standard tyres in order to keep it within my money and still have some left over to do stuff with. As far as repairing stuff, I have done a bit of that, and I'm actually wondering now, can I change the seat to the one I bought? I wonder, interior disassemble maybe? If we go on that, then interior assemble? Yes, we can, and this seat is in better condition than what we had at least. I don't think that steering wheel is going to be better though. I think we're in normal mode. And there's our new seat in the car. Lovely. I think we will just change the steering wheel for now, just to see how it looks, even though I probably won't be keeping it. Go on steering wheel. Yeah, the standard one is much better condition, but I want to see how it goes. So we'll try that. Go back to normal mode, and we kind of have a new interior. I do prefer this wheel, but there's no doubting it is worn, and I can't seem to repair it, sadly. Still, I've done something to the interior that I can feel good about now. It's a work in progress, definitely, but it will get there someday and be an amazing channel car, as it is. I think the tyres may be too small for this car, though the wheels perhaps as well, but I can get them to work. So there's no real issue there. The standard tyres are cheap compared to the wheels, at least. The wheels were $1,800 or something ridiculous, just for two of them. It looks good from a distance, and that's good enough for me. Now if we look in my inventory, we'll see there are some broken bits. Quite a few broken bits actually, but we've saved a few of the expensive ones, like the gearbox, and it's somewhere here, the engine head, one of the engine heads, and various other bits along the way. So that's nice. Actually, we have V8 overhead valve engine head there. Have I managed to procure another one, or am I just getting lost in the menus? So there, and then I think if we go up, yeah, we have got two of them. So although I'm pretty sure I destroyed one, we have still got two 100% ones, which is always nice to know. The engine is stripped down to the block here, just for working purposes, and I've removed the drive line, the what do you call it, drive shaft actually made it, and that was 100% now, so that's always good. We have a good chassis, as I've said here. You can tell the condition is good. You'll see there's rust here, but if we take that panel off, it's a very clean, tidy body actually. Just go back to assemble, hopefully, and we can put that back on. And you can see the rust again, but that is just that one panel really where there's serious rust. The rest of the car is surprisingly good. There's the brakes as well, they are quite rusty, but brake parts are pretty standard and pretty cheap, so that's no major issue. I know I can put this together and get it driving decently, so hopefully I'll get some more of it together next episode, but I'm going to leave this episode here for now. Shorter video, but I've got started, I feel, on the car, which is good enough for me. And I'll say goodbye until another day.